Alright everybody, welcome to this Okey Dokeys tutorial. Today we're going to be making this cutie patootie little candy corn for Halloween. And so that we can have that ready for Halloween, we're going to kind of send it out a little bit early so you guys can make it if you want. So yeah, we're going to jump into this. I'm going to tell you the materials that you're going to need to use, okay? So here's the pattern right here. You guys can take a screenshot of that if you want. I'm going to show it again at the end. I'm going to show it like this so you can kind of get more of it at the end. But that's kind of it. I kind of color coded it a little bit. I'm going to probably mark it up as I go just to like add some extra notes. But this is the pattern. If you want to screenshot that, you totally can. I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, perfect. We're going to be using some safety eyes. I think these are bigger than the original ones that I used. Yeah, these are a little bit bigger. So you can use literally whatever size of eyes that you think will work best with this little guy. I'm going to be using, these are probably 15s. The ones that I used here are probably 15s. These ones are probably closer to like 18s or 20s. Millimeters. That's in millimeters. So if you measure them, that's in millimeters. Okay. You're going to also be using some stuffing. You probably will not need this much stuffing, but also you might need this much stuffing if you like, it looks like smaller if you try to bunch it up. Anyway, you'll be using white Chenille yarn. You'll be using orange Chenille yarn, and you'll be using a yellow color of some sort. This is a little bit more of like a mustardy color, but I love this color. It's fantastic. But you'll be using some sort of yellow. This is the yellow that I'm going to be using. It's a little orangey, but it'll work. You're going to be using also a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, ta-da, and then a stitch marker, and then you will not need a yarn needle, but if you want, you can always have one on hand. They're helpful. And then scissors, because scissors are awesome, and you will need them, especially because you'll be doing 2 color changes, because you'll start with one and then change color, and then you'll need to fasten it off at the end anyway. This is also a no sew pattern, so you will not need to sew. Yarn needle is only for fastening off at the end if you desperately want to use it. I'm going to use it because I love doing that. It's actually like, it makes me feel like I'm sewing, but like not like a lot, like a copious amount of sewing. So whatever works for you, but you don't have to, but you can if you want to. Okay, let's get started making this cutie patootie, and like and follow for more if you want to see more tutorials like this. Let's jump into it. So firstly, we're going to be starting with the yellow color, simply because, I mean, you can start with whatever color you want, but we're going to start with color number 1, which is going to be this yellowy color. And we're going to make a magic ring alternative, or if you want, you can make a magic ring, whatever you want. I'm going to make a magic ring alternative because I'm more used to doing that. Magic ring alternative, and then you're going to single crochet 8 into that main, single crochet 8 into it. If you do a magic ring alternative, that's going to be chaining 2. So you're going to make a slip knot, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to go back into that first stitch, and then single crochet how many you need to do, which is 8 in this instance. And it's possible, trust me, I've had people be like, it's impossible, I can't put 8 in the same stitch. Yes, you can. I believe in you. It's possible, physically possible. I do it every single day. Okay. Perfect. Now that we've done that, we are going to, this is round number 2. We're going to increase all the way around. Oh. This cutie patootie is so great. I love candy corns. As soon as it was like September, me and my friends, we went to the store and we got candy corns, and we're just munching on them throughout the rest of our little adventure that day. It was so great because candy corns are so scrumptious. They've got such a unique flavor. And people are like, oh, I hate the candy corn pumpkins or whatever. I actually kind of dig those. I love the candy corn pumpkins, or the pumpkin candy corns, whatever you want to call it. They're fantastic. Everything candy corn is so good. Okay. Then next, we are going to, this is round number 3. Okay, round number 3, you're going to single crochet, and then you're going to increase. And single crochet, and then increase. You're just going to do that all the way around. Oh, my yarn is falling all over the place. It's okay. Okay. Single crochet, increase. All the way around. Around and around and around. Yeah, and you don't have to use any of these colors if you don't want to, but if you want to use these colors, they're available through our bio. These yarns, we actually sell these yarns, so if you want to use these yarns, you totally can. They're also like super nice because they don't fray, especially when you're sewing. They're not like falling apart as you're sewing, and it's so soft. Oh my gosh, they're so soft. I've used other Chenille yarn the other day because I just had some back at my house, and I don't know why I had the other yarn. I think I had used it for some previous project, frogged it, whatever, but it like sucked because it was like falling apart and it was like so coarse. Anyway, I have a lot of opinions about that. This next round, round number 4, is going to be a bobble stitch. So I love bobble stitches. You will see them in a lot of patterns. I use them for like everything. But for a bobble stitch, you're just going to wrap the yarn around the hook like a double crochet. Stick it in, pull it, stick it in the next stitch, pull yarn through, wrap yarn over, pull yarn through. Instead of pulling it through that last time, you're going to stick it back in and then keep doing that. You're going to do that 4 times. Perfect. And then you're going to pull your yarn through all the loops at the end. And then just keep single crocheting like nothing happened. Oh! What is going on? There it is. Sometimes I lose track of my stitches. Single crochet like nothing happened. And now you have this little bump. That's his little foot. You see on this bad boy? That's his little foot. We're just building it from the bottom up. Oh, I forgot to count. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you see it in our social, and then we're going to bobble stitch again, and then single crochet all the rest of them. So it's basically bobble stitch, single crochet 11 times 2. Okay? Pattern, row number 4. It's a little bit light. Row number 4. Perfect. Okay. But if you see in our socials at all, you know that we are so brain rot. So if you ever hear some brain rot from me, that is why, because we have so much brain rot here. It's so fun. All of us are like young, chronically online people. So, I mean, whatever works, I suppose. Okay, just wrapping this round up. I think it's silly that we only have candy corns like one time of year, because candy corn is low-key so good. So silly. Okay. Perfect. Okay. That was that round. Put your stitch marker back in so you don't lose track. Then this last round that we're going to do with this color is we're just going to single crochet all the way around. Which is going to be, you're going to have a stitch count of 24 by this point. If you don't have a stitch count of 24, you did something wrong. I apologize, but you did something wrong. So this is round 5. Just single crocheting all the way around. Perf. Okay. Dunzos. Put that stitch marker back in. We're going to then switch colors, switch gears to our orange. Let me just see if there's any fuzzies. No. Okay. Perf. We're going to insert the yarn through this hook, through these 2 loops. So it's basically like you don't finish the last stitch. Put this on the hook, pull it through. Now you've changed colors. Ta-da! Okay. Then you're going to start crocheting with this bad boy. So for this bad boy, you're going to single crochet 4. This is the next round, okay? I'm going to just cut this because we won't have to worry about that color anymore. Okay, we're going to single crochet 4, 3, 4, and then we're going to decrease. And you're going to do that 4 times. 2, 3, 4, decrease. So that we're slowly making him like go into a point. 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now's where the fun begins. Okay. So we're gonna bobble stitch right here. I showed you how to do a bobble stitch earlier. So if you're curious on how to do a bobble stitch, we also have tutorials on them, I believe. I believe we have tutorials for that. Oh! Perfect. And then yarn over, pull through all of those. Fantastic. And then we're gonna single crochet 10. Okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Then we're gonna make another bobble stitch. And then we're going to single crochet 8. So usually I put the eyes on the side where the arms are closer together, but it honestly doesn't matter. Just whatever you want. That's just what I do. Okay, next round. You're going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to decrease. We didn't do any decreases last time. So the stitch count of last time was 20. 3. And then once you're done with this one, the stitch count will be 16. 1, 2, 3, decrease. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, decrease. Awesome. Okay. And then we're going to single crochet all the way around. So that's going to be single crocheting 16. This is round number 9, by the way. So we're going to single crochet all the way around. Perfect. Okay, then this is the last round that we're going to do with this orange. Oh! Get that back in there. Perfect. We're going to single crochet 2. 1, 2, and then we're going to decrease. This is round number 10, by the way. Single crochet 2 and decrease. And you're going to do that all the way around. Just single crochet 2 and then decrease. The stitch count once you're done with this round should be 12. 1, 2, decrease. Okay, now we're going to switch back to, well, not back, we're going to switch to white. Okay? So for when you do a decrease and you're switching just whenever you pull that last loop through. For this, pull the yarn through. And then for this next round that we're going to do, which is going to be round number 12. Oh, really fast, I'm just going to cut that. Perf. Done with orange. We're just in white now. We're going to single crochet all the way around. So that's going to be 12 single crochets. Oh. And you can do this with whatever colors you want. I just really like to use the OG colors because I'm an originalist. Don't worry, I'm just an originalist. Perfect. And then I haven't had to make any notes on this so far. Good job, Zuri, from a week ago. Okay. Before we go any further, it's going to be easiest to put the eyes in now. So we're going to put the eyes in now. For this bad boy, I put his eyes in these spots. But I put them a little bit. Did I put them higher? No, I don't think I did. Okay, I'm going to find a spot, and I'm going to put them in it. Because honestly, it doesn't matter where the eyes are as long as you think they're cute. Also, trick, the lower they are, the cuter it is. Trust. The bigger they are and the lower they are, the cuter it is. Trust me on this. I've done a lot of research on this topic. Okay, insert eye. Get it secured. Insert eye. Secure it with this little back. People say that these are too flimsy. If you're not like chucking it at stuff all the time, then they won't fall out. Trust. Just don't try to like pry it off and it won't fall out. Okay, perfect. Eyes have been inserted. We're gonna go one more round before stuffing it, but I always like to put the eyes in. I say insert eyes and stuff in a few rounds, but I like to put the eyes in as soon as I can, so it kind of like I can see the vision. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, this next round, this is round number 12. We're gonna single crochet, and then we're gonna decrease, and we're gonna do that 4 times. So basically, just all the way around. Oh, there's like hairs all over this. I mean, that's what happens when you work in an office with a lot of girls. Okay, perfect. Okay, you don't need a ton of white for this project either, so make sure you put your stitch markers in. Make sure you put those stitch markers in. Okay, next round, round number 13, we're going to single crochet all the way around, which is going to be 8, because the stitch count should be 8. If it's not 8, you did something wrong. I don't know what you did, but you did something. Single crochet all the way around. I actually don't know what song I was just singing. I just came up with something just for you guys, just to serenade you a little bit. Okay, now you can stuff it. I'm going to put that stitch marker in it. just so that we keep track of it, so in case something happens and like the world explodes, that we know exactly where Stitch is. So I would recommend stuffing it a little bit before. The pattern says to stuff it now, so I'm showing you that it is possible to stuff it now. Inserting the eyes, you can also insert the eyes now. I would recommend it earlier, but you physically can do it now. I just would recommend doing it a little bit earlier. Stuffing it, I would stuff it like one round ago if you wanted to. That would be the like ideal time is to stuff it a round ago. But in the end, it's up to you. Stuff whenever you think is best. And yeah, stuff it to your heart's content. There's like nobody telling you that you can't stuff it as much as you want or as little as you want. So just stuff it to your heart's content. Now we have candy corn, almost done. We have one more round, okay? This last round is just going to be decreasing all the way around, okay? So that your final stitch count will be 4, okay? Then we're going to change that to 0 because we're going to fasten off and pull close once we're done with this, okay? Your stitch marker is out at the end of that. Gonzo, so you don't need it for the rest of this video, okay? Snip your yarn, fasten it off, and now you have this little peak right here. I'm actually going to take some of the stuffing from below and pull it up to the point a little bit. Okay, now that we have this extra long tail, I'm going to put my yarn needle on it, because you could do this with the yarn needle, you can do it with a crochet hook, whatever you want. I'm going to do it with the yarn needle because I want to. Sometimes I do it with the hook, sometimes I do it with the needle. It doesn't matter. You're going to thread the needle through each of the loops at the top, each of the stitches at the top, and pull it, and it will be closed, and there won't be any ugly remnants, and you're going to hide that tail, because please hide your tails. I will die on this hill that you need to hide your tails, because it looks like tacky if you don't. Because I know so many, okay, and that sounds really mean, but like, I know so many like content creators that do not hide tails. They're like, you don't need to, and they're like, please make it normal, and I'm like, no, don't make it normal, because if it's normal, then all of these crochet projects look like tacky. I don't want that. Okay, you might need to shape that point a little bit if you do it the way that I did it. Okay, there you go. There's your cutie patootie little candy corn. Now you can make a giant bowl full of them, and you could put them on what's it called? Markets. You can sell these at markets. They're so cute. You can use these at markets. Just credit us. Just be like, oh yeah, using Okey Dokeys pattern, whatever. 100%. If you make these, just take a picture of them, post them on social media. We would love, love, love to see them, and you can tag us too, and we can feature you on our page. But yes, just make these for Halloween. It'd be so fun. You could put them up in your car. You can throw them at your friends. I know I would do that personally, but do whatever you think is best. But anyway, have a great rest of your day. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye. Love you guys.